So every day I have a meeting with my team and we just talk about like, okay, what applications came in, what's going on with this purchase, we do a whole catch up, and then we talk about what's happening in the market, what we think people need to know more about, et cetera, et cetera. So we got some videos to do. I may be going back to 5 times a week because it looks like we've got some stuff to cover. Okay, so let's see here. VA. It is VA Wednesday. So today we're going to talk about why won't they give you a loan estimate? Yes, so, and I'm trying not to sneeze, I'm sorry. Okay, so why won't they give you a loan estimate? I was talking to a gentleman yesterday and he was referred to me by a prior client. So thank you, all you guys, prior clients, giving out my name. I appreciate it. The team appreciates it. Anyways, and he's like, yeah, I was talking to these other 2 lenders and they won't even give me a loan estimate or a quote. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, they won't tell you the rates, or like, I'm like, because with the rates, until you're locked, it's not real, but they should give you ballpark. He's like, they won't even tell me what to expect with closing costs. And I was like, ooh, yikes. Like, that's a red flag, guys. If you're buying a house, okay, you need your lender to give you a closing cost estimate before you go shopping. The reason is, how the heck are you supposed to shop if you don't know how much money's coming out of your wallet? Right? Like, it boggles my mind. And the 2 companies he was talking about, they're huge in the VA space, huge. All you guys call them first, then you call me. But yeah, they're huge. They get a huge piece of the pie. They are VA leaders. But yeah, they're not giving out closing cost estimates until the people are in contract. They set the person up with a realtor, but when he was saying, I don't know what to expect, they just brushed it off. And I think the reason they're doing this is because, and I'm seeing some lenders do this outside of VA as well, people don't know how to shop lenders to a large extent. And I've done a ton of videos on it. And what's always funny, and I think I'm actually doing a bad job, because what happens is sometimes people will call me and they'll be like, okay, Jen, I'm doing exactly what you told me in the video. What's your rate? And I'm like, what? Like, my video says do not do that. And then I'm trying to figure out if they're punking me or if they're being satirical, which, without being rude or being like, ha ha ha, lols. But I think it's a very complicated topic. I don't think that rates are set up to be consumer friendly. I don't think shopping lenders is set up to be consumer friendly. So it's an issue. And I know there's quite a few lenders who are like, oh, like expect XYZ, but they're not giving you the quotes because they're scared that you're gonna look at that quote and you're gonna determine that they're too high without taking the time to go through the quote with them. I will be the first person to say, I've had this happen a lot. I used to just print out those loan quotes like they were candy. And look, what a loan quote is from a lender, like if you're buying a house, I'm estimating everything. And what I do now is I basically get the people pre-approved fully, which doesn't cost anything, but then I have them set up a time on my calendar so that I can go through the closing cost estimate with them line by line. Okay, now these other companies aren't even doing that. They're basically saying, you called us, you trust us, look how trustworthy we are, we're gonna do great, go shopping, you're fine, we looked at your money, don't worry. No, you should have a ballpark on closing costs. And being licensed in so many states, it's really different. Like, some states are very affordable to buy a house. Ohio, I'm looking at you. Some states, I cry when I see the closing costs. Maryland, New York, some of them are incredibly high. And especially if you're going from, let's say you lived in California and now you're buying in New York, it is a different world on closing costs. So you guys asking for that, if your lender won't give you one, and it's not the official loan estimate, because the official loan estimate happens when you're in contract, okay? And a loan estimate is garbage until it's locked to a large extent as well. But they should be able to give you a basic loan summary, okay, that says, hey, like when I'm going through it, if any of you guys have done this with me, you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's deja vu. I'll be like, okay, you know, these are title and escrow charges. Make sure you look up what these, you know, different words are online so you fully understand it and what your rights are. This is an estimate. My computer is taking estimates from the local area on how much this should cost, okay? Or if you're in an area that has transfer taxes, keep in mind, my computer's taking into account an estimate of what traditionally would be charged in that area for a house of that price point. Okay, and I go through it line by line by line. Do I do this if I do not have an application with someone? No, I don't. If I don't have an application with you, I say, hey, here's my ballpark for rates. You know, it's VA. I don't have a lender fee. If you want me to dig into this further, I am happy, you know, fill out an app, we'll get you everything. It's not because I'm trying to hide anything. It's because of two big things. Number one, my system doesn't automatically generate closing costs without an app. Okay, and without the zip code in the county, and there's stuff we're looking up. Like we're looking up like, okay, what is the average tax rate in that county? There's a lot we're looking up. And then B, because if you're trying to compare lenders based off of loan summaries and you don't understand what each category is, it's a waste of time. When you're comparing lenders, it's based off of what are their fees to do the loan, not the closing costs. Their fees, their individual. I don't control title and escrow. Another company doesn't control title and escrow, control title and escrow. How many months of property taxes the lender collects? You could look at 3 different loan summaries and see 3 different answers. And the bottom line is, it's not that Bob's gonna get you lower property taxes or Bob's company requires less. It's that Bob knows that most people, when they're comparing lenders, just go to the bottom line on how much their closing costs are. So Bob could build in, so Jen, no lender fee on VA. Got it? We waived the $1,290, which we normally charge on every other loan. So we waived the $1,290. Bob could be charging you $2,000 for his services, but he could put that he's only going to collect 1 month of taxes, and his number could be lower than mine. Is Bob cheaper? No, Bob did the oldest trick in the book. He did the closing costs, the stuff that he's not responsible for, lower than reality, you know, so that you guys would think he's cheaper when in fact he's more expensive. So you're like, oh my God, this is horrible. It is, guys, it's really horrible. So here's the thing, as a buyer, right? If I was buying a house, I would be asking my lender for a loan summary, okay? I would not be calling 5 different lenders and being like, hey, my credit's 800. I'm perfect and wonderful and I like crepes. Can you send me a loan summary? Because they're gonna be like, where are you buying? I'll be like, I'm buying in Maine. Okay, where, how much? Like, there's so much to it, and without actually having everything, it can be really tough to get those numbers within a ballpark. You know, there are some lenders that are like, oh, well, because I've asked for years. I'm like, guys, there's got to be, because I get people who get really mad at my team because they're like, why won't you give me closing costs without an app? And I'm like, I can tell you what my fees are. My team can tell you what our fees are. We cannot tell you what third-party fees are, right? If you're a plumber, okay, let's say I'm remodeling a house and you're a plumber and I'm saying to you, Bob, I know you're the plumber, but I need to know how much this remodel is going to cost, and I'm not going to give you any information. Bob's going to be like, dude, I'm the plumber. Like, you know, give me, like, I'll get my friend to help and put this estimate together, but it's not, Bob can tell you what he's charging for his plumbing. I can tell you what I'm charging for my loan, and I can estimate what the other people will charge for their services. Okay? This has become 5 videos in one. This is like the most impactful video of your life. Just kidding. Actually, maybe not. Anyways, so what did we learn? Number 1, yes, your lender should be giving you a loan summary. They're either not giving it to you because they're going to rip you off and they don't want you to know that they charge 1% origination up to $3,000. or or they're not giving it to you because they think that you're going to rate shop them incorrectly, and that's a problem as well. But regardless of those two reasons, you know, I face both of those. Not that I'm going to rip people off, but I face the obstacle of people rate shopping me incorrectly all the time. But I'm still, with my buyers, going to sit down and I'm going to dedicate, you know, half an hour to going through a closing cost estimate with them line by line. Because how can you shop without that? You can't. Not well. I mean, I don't want you guys walking blind into scenarios. I don't want you being like, oh my God, I didn't know it'd be that much. No, you know, we do our best to estimate so that you guys don't end up in that position. So once again, you do want a lender that will help you know what closing costs should be approximately. Number two, in regards to those closing costs, the only thing the lender actually controls is what we're charging for the loan. We control nothing else. We are estimating what those other fees will be, but we have zero control. I do not pick title and escrow. I do not pick your attorney. I don't pick the appraiser. I order the appraisal, but I can't be like, he'll only pay $100. Also, you'd never get an appraiser right now for that. So very important to know if you're looking at lenders. So if you've got one that won't give you one, red flag. If you're looking at 5 lenders and you're comparing the bottom line, you're comparing wrong, the key is you need to work with someone that's going to sit you down on the phone and go through it line by line so that you guys understand the decisions you're making. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I know it went kind of everywhere, but it just kept on opening cans of worms. So questions as comments, as always, reach out. I am licensed in 46 states. I love doing loans clearly, and I am here to help. Thanks.